So one thing I find a lot of people don't talk about is how they go about recording videos of their DAW and get the audio into their video capture software. I use OBS, and OBS doesn't really read ASIO, which is it's quite a big problem because I can't record unless I'm in ASIO. So before I was using Voicemeeter Banana and a bunch of different other Voicemeeter things, and it worked. There was latency, it would crackle, it would cut out, and sometimes I'd have to restart my computer to get it to run again, just randomly. I'd record one take, wouldn't like it, go to re-record, and all of a sudden the audio doesn't work at all on my whole computer. It was super busted. It didn't work for me. So I had to find another solution. But I'm going to walk you through the basic steps of how I go about this currently. Oops. So first things first, I am using my ASIO drivers. I work in 48K, but this will work in 44.1. A lot of my homies use 44.1. Nothing wrong with it. So the lowest I can go is 128. But when I'm working at 128, it really taxes my interface and my computer, and I start to get underruns, I start to get pops, and if I'm loading something like a drum sequencer or guitar plugins, that's when it starts getting crackly, things start breaking. So I run at a safe 256. That's pretty cool. Next, when you are recording video, it's really hitting your computer hard. So I keep my time base PPQ at 24 in the project tab. What this is how far you can zoom into the playlist. If you're recording video, you're more than likely not going to zoom into the molecular level of your waveform. You're not going to be like, okay, so I need to see exactly every dot, every frame of this sample. You probably don't need that. So lower this, and that'll allow you a much easier, cleaner recording with less latency, and your computer fans aren't going to be like screaming at you the whole time. Super beneficial. The next thing is, once you have all the ASIO set up for normal recording, like I can do, just normal recording, now you need to find a way to get this audio captured and sent into a format that OBS can read, since it can't read ASIO. And that's where these two things come in handy. Vox and Go Recorder. This will transmit the audio to another driver, something that OBS can read. And the driver, VB Audio Software's virtual audio cable. They make Voicemeeter, Banana, Potato, etc. All the Voicemeeter stuff. This cable is amazing. You just download the free version. You could pay if you want to have like a bunch of different outputs. I don't need that. I just need the free version. So I grabbed the free version and I use this to send the audio into that cable. I'm just going to minimize that. Here we go. On my master, I load up Vox and Go Recorder. I set it to MME. The buffer count and buffer size, I don't really know what they do. I just set them and they worked. So feel free to copy. If it doesn't work, keep playing with it. Next, I have it outputting to MME with a bit depth of 24. I don't do 16-bit audio, 24 or bust. 32-bit float if I can, but 24 is good enough. So this is sending to the MME device. It says speakers, but it's not. It's VB Audio Virtual Cable. So the Voicemeeter thing, that's pretty simple. That is going to put it in a format that OBS can read. So if I go into my settings, in my audio tab, you'll see speakers, VB Audio Virtual Cable. That is my audio. That's what I'm capturing. And I know I'm hitting red, but I have a limiter on there, so I shouldn't be able to clip anyways. But it's the easiest way to keep my voiceover at max level, and so I don't sound really quiet by comparison like I did in a lot of my older videos. So the cool thing about this is it just loads up like any old VST. Doesn't add any latency, either. If I were having like a ton of plugins, like let's say I have Superior Drummer, I have Steven Slate drums, I have tons of waves, I have ozone like I currently do on my master. It's bypassed, so it's not bogging down my computer. But if I mouse over ozone, you see in the top window right here, it says 78.96 milliseconds of latency. That is a lot of latency. That was one of the biggest problems I had with Voicemeeter Banana is I would hear it back late, which caused the speech jamming effect. So it was like, I was like, oh wow, that's weird. Sounds like train tracks and I cannot stand this. I don't have that issue now. Reason being is I am just hearing live ASIO audio straight from my DAW. Everything is getting sent over to the virtual cable and I don't have to hear any of that conversion. So if it's delayed, it's all delayed evenly. So there's no issue. So that's awesome. Another thing that makes it beneficial, if you are like me and you do your voiceover, you want to do mixing on your voiceover, you can do that in DAW as well. So this is what my voiceover sounds like with processing. This is what it sounds like without processing. You can hear my computer fan in the background. You can hear background noise, and a lot of times you'll hear birds. So I like to have some mixing on my voice to make sure I'm consistent, even, and always louder than whatever I'm, playing back. That's pretty cool. And I just have another Vox and Go on that channel. Reason being is this isn't getting routed anywhere. I'm having it output to my headphones so I can hear myself in this track, but Vox and Go Recorder is capturing the audio before it ever goes anywhere. So if I decide I want to pan this, you're not going to hear that. This audio is being captured before the pan, before the volume. And that means I could just keep talking. Like if I were to just start talking, you'll still hear this audio because it's being captured before that. But in my headphones, that's awesome. If I'm working on a mix where I really just need to pay attention to the left side, I could pan my vocals to the right and I could listen to the left. That's really useful. And if I don't want to hear myself, I could turn this off and you're still going to hear me just fine. It's just extra ease and it's in a software I already know. I didn't have to learn Voicemeeter Banana again. I didn't have to reset it up. FL is always set up. I just have to load up this VST, I say in air quotes, and I'm good to go. So that's pretty beneficial right there. If I wanted to load it up, I'd just go, I don't remember where I have it saved, to be honest. I usually just load up my vocal chain, which has it, and then I click and drag it to another channel. So this is what it looks like before. You could export to a file or MME, which is going to stream it to what OBS can read. You could choose which outputs you have. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah, I don't know what the buffer size or buffer count does, so excuse me for not being super informed on that. But all you need to know is how to run your normal ASIO drivers, how to install virtual cable, and to install Vox and Go Recorder. And that's it. Everything else is a bonus feature. And the best thing is, the only latency you're going to hear is the latency you already have. Like this 1.46 latency. My playing's not great, but I don't hear any latency. This is as if I didn't have video capture, audio capture, any of that in the background. It's pretty buttery. So that's pretty cool. Anyways, that is the whole overall thing. Vox and Go recorder and VB virtual audio cable. Both free. Load it up, give it a shot. You get how it works. Not super crazy. That's it. Sorry I said so a lot. I try not to, but I'm sorry. That's all I can say. That's it. Bye. Hope you're having a great quarantine.